Hello there. This evening Dime Video brings you another murder mystery. 10 minutes of entertainment. See if you can solve the murder before the end of the show.
Well, Alice, you'll finally get to meet Dorothy.
2 whole years, Jim. I can't believe that it's been that long.
Well, it is. That's true. And it's only too bad that you haven't taken advantage of our Brooks hospitality before now.
Well, I'm here now, and I intend on having a perfectly wonderful time. Charming place.
Well, Dorothy's going to be on pins and needles, anxiously waiting for you to come. Let's go in.
Before we go in, let's go out to our hidden camera on the street and hear some comments about our sponsor, 5 Gum.
I chew a lot of gum, but so far I have only found one that has long-lasting flavor. And to prove that it has long-lasting flavor, I am standing here in this traffic, and I am not going to move until the flavor ends or my jaw hurts. The name of the gum is 5, and it comes in this black package. Spearmint is called Rain, and it comes in a green 5. Peppermint is called Cobalt, and it comes in a blue 5. And cinnamon is called Flare, and it comes in an orange 5. Any of these flavors will stimulate your senses. The flavor is non-stop.
Yep, and this gum is sure long-lasting.
5 is great. I love it.
Oh, look, the door is unlocked. Hi, Dorothy. This is Jim, here to meet Alice.
Jim, look!
What? Where?
There on the floor. Is that Dorothy?
Yes, it is. My heavens, she's dead. Call 911.
Mr. Brooks, Miss Manning, I'm Inspector Henderson with the Greenville County Sheriff's Department, Homicide Division. What a shock it must have been.
Yes, I walked into the room and saw her first.
And I ran in right after her.
Mr. Brooks, I'm afraid that you and Miss Manning are going to have to ask some routine questions.
I'll be happy to help in any way that I can, Inspector.
Thank you, Miss Manning. Now, Mr. Brooks, while we're waiting for some information I phoned for, I want you to tell me exactly what happened this morning.
There isn't much really to tell you. Both my wife and I were very excited to have Alice visit us from Chicago. And that's Miss Manning. And she was to visit us, then call me at my office when she actually arrived at the airport.
And you were there all morning?
Yes, until Miss Manning's plane landed and I left to pick her up, and we came right out here.
I had written Mrs. Brooks and told her I would call Jim at the office as soon as I landed. The plane was an hour late. Maybe if it had been earlier, this would have been prevented.
Well, that remains to be seen. Apparently Mrs. Brooks was seated, putting on red polish on her fingernails when she was shot. The polish spilled out all over the carpet, and she still was holding the brush in her hand. She must have recognized her attacker. She printed 3 initials, D-O-C, on the floor with her polish.
D-O-C. We must find out what that really means.
You sure you don't know anyone name that would fit?
Absolutely not.
Oh.
Yes, Miss Manning. Can you think of anyone with those initials?
Well, D-O-C. Doc. It's Mr. Brooks' nickname.
It can't be.
Well, Mr. Brooks?
I haven't been called Doc for over 2 years. It was a nickname that I picked up in school. My wife didn't even like the name. You've got to believe me, Inspector. It's the truth.
Well, we'll see.
Hello? Oh, yes, he is. It's for you, Inspector.
Thank you. Yes, Grady. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Well, I believe it's going to be sewed up anyway. Thanks. You both will be happy to know that this little murder mystery has been solved.
Well, then it wasn't Doc after all?
No, Miss Manning. It wasn't Mr. Brooks. It was you, Miss Manning. I'm arresting you for Miss Manning, for the murder of Dorothy Brooks.
How dare you arrest me?
Please, Miss Manning, sit down.
I was still on that plane.
Why did the inspector arrest Miss Manning for the murder of Mrs. Brooks? In a moment, we will see the rest of the story. But first, let's go back to our people on the street.
Well, we're still here, and my jaw is sore. But 5 is long-lasting flavor.
And 5 is for me. I love it.
My jaw's tired.
And now, back to our story.
Your plane wasn't late, Miss Manning. Your plane was on time. You came here, murdered Mrs. Brooks, returned to the airport, called Mr. Brooks to pick you up. Too bad you didn't know that Mr. Brooks was no longer called Doc when you printed those letters on the carpet. The next time you leave something to direct suspicion, you'd better get it right. But of course, there won't be a next time. Miss Manning, I'm taking you downtown and booking you.
Join us again for the next Village Players Dime Mystery. You may be able to laugh. You may even cry. You might even solve the mystery.